on my way back from Nova. I mean, um from the post office, and my friend over there just did not work, and I was talking to him. He said, "I'm not going to that motherfucking party." That's a I said, "Party." He said, "Yeah, Terry's 60th party." He said that he had he said that there was on how you know how the group chat thing, and he said he was reading the group chat thing. Missy ain't say nothing about nobody's birthday that's in this month, like mine, my birthday or anybody's birthday that's in that month. But Terry, you talking about uh some place they was doing what they call that, they wear big wigs and shit like that. Some kind of, and yeah, so she was like, I mean, he was like, I'm not about to deal with that shit because Missy is still acting kind of stupid. I guess from that shit with Felicia, what happened with Felicia when Bob died. And he was talking about that he not going, and he was talking about it's gonna be damn. They talking about having a bunch of damn little kids there. He said, "How the fuck are you supposed to? How the fuck are you supposed to go to a night?" Well, your uncle Gary was talking about that she read it. He read it in the messages, the group chat message that it was kids that's gonna be there. Kids is coming too. I don't know if she changed it, but he said it's kids that is coming too.
Welcome to the YouTube channel. Hit that like button, subscribe button, thumbs up so you get if I drop a video on this channel. We're going to talk about the Nazir Harris case out of Detroit. I'm going to do a full thorough video about it because I think this case was a disturbing case to say the least. Multiple victims. And I want to just go on backstories and give updates. And so a Detroit man, George Buster, George murder, and that's abuse of missing 13-year-old Nazir Harris, who would be heading to trial, we thought, in October 5th. But that was changed due to getting more witnesses. Since then, there have been plea deals on the table. I believe he rejected a couple of plea deals, and now we're waiting to see if he's going to accept his last plea deal. If not, we're going to trial in February of 2026, the year currently in, on the 23rd. Now, Judge Bus 42 is charged first degree premeditated murder, second degree murder, as conduct and CS abusive activity. Butts is accused of having an inappropriate relationship and was last seen getting off the school bus at the corner of Cornwall and 3 Mile Drive in Detroit on January 9, 2024. Her body has never been found. Butts appeared in court Friday morning for a condo conference. A condo conference allows the legal teams the opportunity to discuss trial logistics, including hearing a motion, finding dates, and Nazar's friends and family were present at Friday's condo conference. On June 9, 36th District Court Judge Adelia Saburi indicated to the Third Circuit Court for trial. Following 4 days of testimony and a preliminary examination, Butts pleaded not guilty on January 17. Jury selection will begin October 6th, that's the dawn of 2025. President said Friday they will call 40 or more witnesses. Since then, the defense plans to call 10 or more. The trial is expected to last 2 to 4 weeks. I don't understand when this is a big case and there's a lot of victims. I think it should at least be 2 months. Butts has also been charged with mass abuse of 2 other girls in several cases. He has a final condo conference date on June 20th.
Yeah, but we don't know if Lily got that ID. And if she do, I don't. I mean, I don't know.
We want to talk about the failures of this case.
Last year. I don't know if the ID came to Lily house because it didn't come to your Uncle Gary's at all.
If I can see it. Can you see it? This precious angel who was victimized by this perpetrator
Who's that?
It's the
What the hell is
victim.
that?
My siblings who were
Oh, I thought
victimized
that was
by the
your
same
girlfriend. I'm about
person.
to hang the fuck up. They see ya.
We have a long way to go in protecting our black girls. The case in Zaire proves that her heartbreaking story was sweeping the internet. Yet, unfortunately, she's not an anomaly. She's one example of how we need systematic and cultural changes to protect our most vulnerable. The details of her story should disarm anyone to the point they desire to make communities safer for young black girls, along with seeking justice for Nazara Harris. Let her story fuel you to seek change in our communities. Now, this is the case of Nazara Harris. Nazara Harris was 13. She was allegedly, I don't know what they put allegedly, but she was allegedly uh, as abused or involved with Raymond Jarvis Butts. He shared a child with Harris' biological aunt, Shannon Harris, again the father of Harris' cousin. Therefore, the relationship between Harris and Butts was supposed to be that of an uncle and niece. Previously, detectives found explicit photos and messages between them alluding to romantic involvement. As Harris refers to him as Bay at the time of her death, it is believed that she was pregnant with Butts' child and he was aware. Harris was last seen with Butts on January 9, 2024. On that day, the evidence of Nazara meeting up with Butts after school was found by his Christian. Then traveled about 40 minutes into a different city, Yessalante, Michigan. Circled back to the shop and checked into a hotel. These are the last events in which Nazara was seen alive. There's overwhelming evidence against Butts in the case. In addition to the footage, she was last seen in the messages found on her phone. Multiple witnesses took the stand during the preliminary hearings. Those witnesses included his aunt, mother to Butts' kids, and Isaiah's cousin, little cousin, who was 8 when Harris disappeared. Little cousin recalled two separate occasions Butts took her and Isaiah to the auto shop and had three-letter words with them, with Isaiah. She said Butts also tried to have that with her on a second occasion, but she refused. Following the preliminary hearing, Judge Aaliyah Sibri declared there was enough evidence for Butts to go to trial. Butts is being charged with first degree premeditated murder, second degree criminal blank conduct, child blank abusive activity, according to CBS News. In a calendar conference date was set for March 7th at 9 a.m. The conference allowed legal teams to discuss trial logics, including motion hearing and motion finding dates. As a community, we should look at this case as a prime example of how much work we have to do when it comes to protecting our children, and especially black girls, said Judge Sabrina in court hearing. Protecting is what Nazaria Harris and many black girls across the globe are lacking. Her case amplifies a significant issue. Not only did Nazaria family neglect her, but so did anyone who suspected suspicious activity. The lack of attention young black girls received marked them susceptible to abuse, especially grooming. Grooming is defined as manipulative behaviors that an abuser uses to gain access to a potential victim to coerce them to agree to abuse. Grooming is especially common when the abuser is close to the victim's family, which is Butt's case. 1 in 9 girls under the age of 18 experience S abuse or assault, and 93% of perpetrators are known to the victim. Butts is not a first time offender. I'll repeat that again. He's not a first time offender. And despite his former cases, Nazai's family still allowed her to be around him. He was charged twice before with the same crime of assaulting underage girls as soon as he was permitted around minors. Family and friends should have taken necessary measures to protect those children. Though Harris' family faces much criticism online about their lack of safeguarding her, this is a reminder that everyone connected to young women who are in vulnerable positions should be doing their best to protect them in this situation. It takes a village to protect at-risk Black girls. What's even more disheartening about the situation is that people are defending Butts. Social media videos undesired resurface of her lip singing and dancing to explicit R&B songs for the message. Love funded by detectives and her posts on social media. Users believe she genuinely loved Buzz and thought they were in a romantic relationship. Because of this, she's being painted as being grown and fast. I don't understand how she is a victim of a horrible crime and while you're labeling her in that way. At the end of the day, she was groomed, manipulated, and put in a worse position. One girl took to Facebook and said she got what she asked for. These kids' problem, they gonna learn you want to be grown, shown grown. Discussing children are productive of product of the environment. Here, social media consumption was obviously not monitored. Then her listen to music and creating content appropriate for her age. She was also groomed into believing her relationship with Bus was more than abuse. There was no world where a child should be held accountable for the lack of parenting they received. This disassociating desires age with their actions is extremely dangerous. That's why sending young girls at fast is faulty. It gives predator space to treat them as older than they are. The Black community must do better culturally to shift how they talk about young girls. Systematically and culturally, there's work to be done. Desire his aunt Roxy Labs, who is not associated with the immediate family, has taken upon herself to organize change. She committed to make sure the abuse of underage is stopped. You can support the cause right down below. Now, a lot of things came out during pre-trial, and such as Jarvis was doing all types of weird stuff. And I even seen in the evidence that there were multiple videos with identified men in the home who was known registered offenders. And um, some cases it's disturbing. Um, and then you had Naziah asking Jarvis Butts to go into the store to go and purchase her feminine products, and I guess he said no. And it's just been this whole case just been backwards. The messages are just so disturbing that I can't even read them. I mean, that's how disturbing it is. Messages are describing each other private parts. They're describing uh, just it was so disturbing that, in my opinion, I believe that the adults who failed Naziah and the other children should be locked up because you had a duty, right? You had a duty to protect. And when you feel this child, when you feel the other child, which was Gone Girls and Barbie too, he was a young boy at the time. So when you feel children, it's there, and you feel children. You're basically telling predators it is okay to victimize innocent children because you're giving the okay. And it fathers me that they still walk in the streets, they stay at home relaxing. You got desires gone missing. Today marks 2 years, two, since her disappearance, and nobody's being held accountable, which is so scary. I mean, Joey's Butts is locked up, but somebody, there needs to be other people facing charges too, because they knew what was going on from day one. They knew what was taking place. They knew who was going in and out that house. They knew that Isaiah was with Judge Butts on a regular basis. So at the end of the day, they should be held accountable. I mean, this case was so disturbing. And CPS failed this family. The police department failed this family. Family failed this family. The mother for their own children, Nazaria's mother. I mean, at the time, I think she was heavy on, drugs, and she was running her daughter's life. And I just think that sometimes we have to put down the substance against our children's lives. And I understand people battle their own addiction, but your child was being victimized by you addicted to drugs. She was being harmed. And the least you could have done is reached out and did something to prevent this from happening. This kept going on for years and years and months and months. And so, for people to an internet saying she's fast and she's this and she's that, at the end of the day, she was victimized and put into a position where no child should be put into, and she was victimized by a grown man who preyed upon her, got her allegedly pregnant, and allegedly killed the unborn child in desire, allegedly. And I think this case is just so disturbing on all levels. All levels. I mean, it's disturbing. And when this case gets to trial in February, it's going to be super, super disturbing. And I've been, covering her case since 20, 2024, and covering her case for almost 2 years because I feel like we need to give this child a voice. We need to give Nazaria a voice. We need to give the family a voice. And when I mean family, I'm talking about the children who are victimized a voice. We need to tell them that they're not alone in this fight and that people who feel them should be held accountable because they're still walking the streets. And that's why Detroit's system is broken. And you see so many child predators continue victimizing and not being charged appropriately and walking the streets. They need to be locked up, throw away the key, because they shouldn't be on the streets. There's no way. No way they should be on the streets. There's no way. This whole case was disturbing. The text messages between Jarvis and Isaiah, um, and over the span of time, no adults in our home knew what was going on. You mean to tell me they didn't know this was going on? If you ask me, somebody helped Jarvis Butts hide Isaiah. I'm just gonna be honest. Somebody is just as responsible as Jarvis Butts, and they're not even speaking. But you should want to give the mother, her siblings, her cousins, the community, answers for what happened. Because by you prolonging the process, it's making you look just as guilty as Jarvis. And you should be sitting in a Wayne County jail. For those who participated, knew what was happening, failed to intervene, failed to protect, should be in the Wayne County jail with zero or $1 million bond. Sit in there, go to trial, and face the music. Because you failed as an adult, you failed as a guardian, you failed as an aunt, you failed miserably, you failed. There's no way around it. You failed. So we gotta do better. We gotta do better. I'm gonna shout out to again for bringing awareness to the story. Story been tragic, horrible, and I hope justice is served. I really do. I hope anybody else who's responsible for this case is brought to justice. Um, and because this is just tragic. This case is tragic. It makes my blood boil. Um, it's just disgusting that nobody thought to protect defenseless children. Somebody knew what was going on. How do you feel that bad. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of red flags in the story, in this case, and I hope the truth comes out one day, which will be next month on the 23rd. Justice for Nazara Harris, justice for his siblings, justice for Janaria, justice for every victim in this case. I'll see you guys later. Peace.